Hello, again my name is Ms. Diaz and I'm here to work with you on population density. And so we know that when we hear population, hopefully you think about people. Okay, so people, if we count the amount of people that live somewhere, that's called population. Okay, so the difference between population and population density is we want to know in an area how many people reside in this area. Okay, and so if you recall the very first few days that we started this Unit 2, area. Area consists of length times width. Length and width. Okay, so we have a formula. Area equals L times W. So population density is going to measure how many people are within this area. Okay, so number of individuals goes on top. And on the bottom, we have the area we're talking about. So let's go ahead and start with problem number 1. Okay, the state of Wyoming is a rectangle. So I'm going to go ahead and use a tool here and create a rectangle. All right, so here's a rectangle. And if you want to build a box yourself, you can. All right, and right here on this area, it tells us that it is 140 miles wide and 310 miles long. Now, some of you can go ahead and just figure that out in your head probably, but let's just go ahead and put 140 miles by 310 miles, okay? And so I'm actually probably using the numbers incorrect, so let's go ahead and get rid of that rectangle and let me just draw it in. So my rectangle really is something like this, okay? So 310 by 140, okay? So I'm going to calculate the area. So the area is 310 multiplied by 140, and we should get 43,400. Okay, and what are the units you're asking? Well, it's miles, and miles multiplied together. So again, it should be miles squared. And we'll go ahead and write that. Once you have the area, okay, go ahead and just go to the formula. Population density. So be very careful. This is not population. We're going to use population quickly. And the formula is, and I'm going to show you how I remember it. So go to your formula, and this is what I do. This is how I teach most of my students so they remember. Draw a person. So it's a number of people. You can just put 1, and it's divided by area. Really simple. So I put a people on top, and then I put an area. So let's go ahead and put the numbers in. So here we have number of people. They gave that to us. Here it is. So in 2016, the population of Wyoming was 585,501. I'm going to divide that by the area that they live in, this little area right here. Okay, and that's 400 miles squared, and on top we're just going to put people. Okay, so go ahead and punch that in your calculator, 585,501, and you should get 13.49. Okay, now let's go and take a look at what they want to do. They want us to round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so another lesson in rounding. So here's population. I'm going to write pop. I'm going to put den. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to get another color pen, and I'm going to underline tenth means this spot right here on the other side of your decimal. That's tenth. But what you have to do is look at the neighbor to the right. So you have to look over here, and if he is 5 or greater than 5, so basically 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that forces this number here on the 10th place to increase. If it was 0, 1, 2, 3 in this spot, you wouldn't do anything with it. you would leave it 13.4. But because it's a 9, 9 is greater than 5. Would you agree with me? Okay, we're going to go ahead and increase 4 and make it a 5. So the true answer today for this one is 13.5. The units are going to be people per square mile. Okay? People per square mile. Okay? And so that means 13.5 people reside in this little area. So you can tell that Wyoming, the state of Wyoming, is pretty scarce. Okay? A lot of land, very little people. Let's go ahead and work on number 2. You ready? So on number 2, it says the state of Colorado is a rectangle. So again, we have a rectangle. And this time I'll go ahead and use my little diagram here. Okay, and we'll just draw the rectangle. Mine's green. You can pick whatever color you like. Okay, and the rectangle is 220 miles wide by 400. So this time I'll make sure and write this down correctly. That's 400 miles long and 220 miles in this direction. Okay? All right. And so just in case the visual is not on the page, I'm going to go ahead and draw my little rectangle there. Okay? And so what do I do with this, class? Area. Area is length times width, which is the 400 times 220. Does it matter if you did 220 times 400? No, you come out with the same answer. Okay, so you should get 88,000 miles squared. So we got one number. And what are they asking for? Estimate the population density of Colorado. Well, what's the population? Here's the population. That means how many people. So we're going to go back and use the same formula. If it's okay with you, I'm going to put pop and put a little den, which means population density. I'm going to put the fraction bar. And I'm going to go ahead and put a person to remind me that's the population. And on the bottom, it's the area. Okay? So we'll go ahead and put, well, how many people? Ooh, lots of people in Colorado. 5,449,230 people, okay, divided by the area, 88,000 miles squared. Okay, and so go ahead and punch that in the computer. You can hit a pause onto the video if you want, just to try it. If not, you can go ahead and just take the number I'm going to give you. Okay, and again, let's find out what they want us to round, and there it is. Round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 seconds to see if you can figure out how to round this to the nearest tenth. So I'm just going to stop. I'm going to give you a clue that you're looking at this place, but you got to look at him. Okay. Do you have your number? So I'm going to just put an arrow. So look at 2. Is he 5 or greater than 5? No. This is a no. He is not. So you're going to leave that 0.9 all by himself. So your final answer is 6.9 people per mile squared. Okay? All right. So let's go on to problem number 3. And I'll go ahead and get rid of our little rectangle because I'm going to slide up. Okay? And so for number 3, we no longer have the definition, but that's okay. Now I want to go ahead and reread 3 and 4 real carefully. So 3 and 4, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm probably not going to use that. A country has an area of 115 square miles. If the population density is 24.5 miles per square mile, what is the population of the country? So I want you to pay attention. There will be 2 different types of problems you're going to be asked on the quiz and the exam. Okay, this one's asking for the population. Okay, so I'm going to put some people. Okay, you can do that too. It's asking for population. So our formula, if you remember, is population density equals number of individuals per unit area. So they're asking for this top part, and you algebra kids can see, in order to figure the population out, you must divide or multiply unit area or area by both sides. Okay? So it's not an algebra class, but it doesn't hurt to do a little algebra. So either you're going to memorize this, because I will put this formula, population density equals number of individuals divided by area. We're looking for this part. That's what we got to solve for. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply area by both sides. So what we're looking for is the number of people, okay, population, is equal to area multiplied by the population density. Okay? So a little different, not too difficult, but if you don't mind, I'm just going to go over here and put population equals, and what's the area? The area is given to you, 115. So there's no calculating. You just get to put it in there. 15 miles squared. Isn't that nice? And then the population density has been given to you. So it's actually fewer steps. And this is people, notice, people per square mile. People per square mile. Okay, so get out your handy dandy calculator, and if you punch that in, you would get 2,817.5. Now, this is people, because we're figuring out population. Okay, so you should already kind of get hints here that people are not half. Okay, all right, they're not parts, they're wholes. So let's go look. Sure enough, what are they asking for? Round to the nearest whole person. Okay, same thing. When we're talking about whole, I'm going to see if, I don't know if color comes out on that screen, but this is the whole part. Okay, that's the whole part. And what we have to look for, right, it's before the decimal, but you still have to go in and look at him. So again, is that a 5 or greater than 5? It's a 5. So when you see that that's a 5, this is an up. Yes, we increase it. So your final answer, rounding it to the whole number or person, is 218 people. And that's the answer. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put pop for short. Notice I didn't put pop density. This is population. Okay? And the last one for today is problem number 4. Okay? A country has an area of 325 square miles. So again, area. Okay? If the population density is 30.5 people per square mile, okay, what is the population of the county? Round to the nearest whole person. So again, I'm just going to go borrow this equation we just used. They're asking for population, which is equal to area times population density. And I have all those numbers. So I'm just going to plug it in. All right. So what number am I going to put for area? 325. What am I going to put for population density? Is 30.5. Okay, so when I'm done, I come out with a number 9,912 and 0.5 of a people. So you already should know that, yeah, we got to round it to the nearest. So let me write population here, and let's round again. So I'm going to wait a second. We know that we got to look at this number and look at him to react. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds to tell me if that's going to be 9,912 or 9,913. All right, what'd you guess? Hopefully it wasn't a guess, and you should get 9,900 to 5. So this is a yes. We are increasing him. So it's 9,913 people. All right. So that does end our lesson today. I wish you a happy day, happy Friday today. And you will not need to do 5 or anything on the back. Okay, that's just additional problems that are set up the same exact way. For your homework assignment, are you ready? I'm sure you're interested. So for homework, you will do number 5, number 6, number 10, and number 11. So that's your homework. Okay, this is due on Monday. Takes about maybe max 10 minutes to do. So I would recommend you do it now in class. Okay, so be cool, get your work done, and have a great weekend or next day if this is during the week. All right, talk to you later.